Welcome. In front of me I have a Samsung Galaxy A12, assuming this is a Galaxy. And let's go over unboxing and an overview of this phone. So let's pop it open quickly. Obviously packaging is quite cheap, as you would expect for a phone of this price range. Okay, I guess I just have to flip it out like this. Let's see what we got here. Any casing? Nope. Obviously, at Samsung they don't include casing, so get that out of my face. Here we got a phone, which looks kind of nice. So let's just set it to the side. And then we got the most cheapest charger you can get. So this is a 15 watt. Welcome to 2010 with this one. Then we got luckily a Type-C charging cable. I'd be very disappointed if it was a micro USB, but hey, it is at least Type-C. And some ejectable. That's it. Cool. Let's just pop this out. Voila. Okay, hopefully it has juice. There we go. So, what you're looking at here is a 6.5 inch display. This is an IPS LCD display with a resolution of 720 by 1600, 50, or what am I saying, 50? 85.8% screen to body ratio, which you should be able to see how it looks like once it actually boots up. And 264 pixels per inch. So that is kind of low considering that it is basically 2021. But this device was released in 2020, although even at that year, majority of the phones did come with a 1080p resolution, but not this one. So let's get started. I'm gonna go to a quick setup, which you can also basically look at how the device looks like here. So let's just go with English. Yes, obviously I have read everything. Now, I believe this one doesn't work, so I guess I'm about to see, but I don't believe this will work. So who doesn't love setting up hotspot just to set up their new device? Thanks, Samsung. You really know how to raise my blood pressure. Just turn on hotspot so I can actually finish up a setup. Guess that couldn't have been done before. Great. And another outstanding thing, you basically need to restart the device after... I'm not mad, I'm just disappointed. So while this is doing some pointless stuff, I can actually finish out the entire, basically, description of this device. So, in camera department, it has a 48 megapixel wide, 5 megapixel ultra wide, 2 megapixel macro, and 2 megapixel depth. Now the two last ones are just complete garbage and most likely are not usable for anything, so you have two cameras. Then at the front we have an 8 megapixel wide sensor. All those cameras can shoot at 1080p 30 frames max. Great, moving on, because it's still turning on. It comes with a Helio P35. Has several different versions, 32, 64, and 128 gigabytes, and depending which one you pick, you have options from 3 gigabytes all the way up to 6 gigabytes, and now it's on. So, apart from that, it also has a 5000 mAh battery, the most trashiest 15 watt charger, and notable mentions here, comes with an NFC, surprising for the price, has a headphone jack, which you can see right over here, and also side-mounted fingerprint. And that's about it. It's made of plastic, it looks kind of garbage. It feels kind of garbage, although still better than their Galaxy A35 5G. That one is just absolute trash and I wouldn't ever recommend it. This one is maybe, if you kind of feel what I mean? Like, it just depends what you need. If you need a device that doesn't take good photos, then, well, it should work just fine. It doesn't have 5G. Honestly, at this moment, for me personally, where I'm from, that literally means nothing if your device has 5G or not. I basically cannot use it and probably won't be able to use it for another couple of years. So by the couple of years, I'll basically have a different phone. So yeah, so this one would be fine if I were looking for a basically really low budget device. Although keep in mind, a low budget at $175 is kind of a higher budget, depending on what kind of brand you go for. If you go, for instance, something like Xiaomi, you can get basically a device that is way better than this one for $175. And if you're looking for something that performs as this, you probably are looking closer to like a little bit over $100 price range. So this one is stepping a little bit too far in my opinion, but that's Samsung, so I guess you pay kind of for this logo right here, kind of like you do with Apple. Can you skip, please? So yeah, apart from that, if you don't really care about the brand, then don't go for this. If you want to have Samsung, then sure, although I would probably prefer to go with something like an S lineup, even if it's an old one. Just get a used one if you don't mind that. For instance, like S10. It will probably be a better device than this one in majority of the aspects, and I assume it should probably cost roughly the same. It's an older device as an S10, but at least you have a flagship of a couple years back, so just keep that in mind. It might be actually a better choice to try to find a really good used deal rather than buying a new A12. So yeah, like I said, the device feels cheap, kind of looks cheap, and there's not much to it. Personally, I don't think I would be spending close to $200 for a device that basically comes with this kind of specs. If, for instance, now this will be really contradictory, I do have an old Huawei device, Mate 20 Pro, and honestly, where I'm from, it will be only a tiny bit more expensive than this, but goodness, it will outperform this phone in every single way. So if I have a choice between those two, by the way, this one still comes with Play services if you were wondering, so if you can find it, probably a Mate 20 Pro will be so much better of a choice rather than this if you're not looking for Samsung. There's actually going to be plenty of different choices rather than Samsung at this price range. So if you don't mind the different brand, then I don't really see a purpose with going with this kind of trash here. This has got to be the longest setup, and it's not because I'm kind of struggling with it, it's just because the device is slow. Icons. Thank you. Okay, so now that it actually finally loaded up 10 minutes later, let's actually just launch a camera and see what it can do. Now, right off the bat, it's really dark for some reason. I'm gonna max out the brightness. Jeez, this is already kind of lagging. That feels bad. Okay, so let's pop a couple photos. So this should be just a typical, let's allow whatever. Nope, that's just a bad photo. Let's try it again. For some reason it started recording. Okay. So let's see how that come out. Come on, flip it. There we go. So still, I wouldn't call that a decent photo by any stretch of the imagination. You can zoom it quite far, but it's just kind of grainy. Now me showing it like this might not really show the full quality of the photo. I believe on the camera it might look a little bit better than it actually does. So just if it looks okay to you right now, just kind of think that it looks worse actually. Now, apart from this one, we do have a couple additional fun sensors like the macro. Oh, there we go. I can almost imagine the quality of a 2 megapixel macro. Oh yeah, that looks bad. So I'm pretty sure the 48 megapixel outperforms the macro, which is to be expected. I wasn't really having any kind of fake delusions that it would not. So apart from that, can I move out of there? There we go. Now I want to turn on portrait. Is there even portrait? It does have a depth sensor, but it doesn't have a depth. Okay, so apparently it comes with a sensor that isn't really used, because if I'm correct, at least on for instance, the A32, the depth sensor is being used by portrait mode. I ain't seeing no portrait mode here, so they just included a lens that isn't being used at all. Okay. Now, it might seem like I'm kind of trashing this device, and I am, because it's not really a great device. And like I said, for instance, if you drop a little bit more, you can get something that is outstandingly better. Now, in terms of, for instance, photos, let me just quickly demonstrate photos right on a fairly outdated device. Now, like I said, Mate 20 Pro. This is about like 4-year-old device, or 2-year-old device at least. So let's just go into the macro. Now this one doesn't even have a dedicated macro lens. Just keep that in mind. It uses, I believe, ultra wide to capture a macro shot. Okay, so let me also max out the brightness so you get the actual good benefit of a OLED display. So this is an actual decent macro. And is there even a comparison? Like, let me bring back the macro that we got here, just to have fun. What does look more high quality to you? Yeah, so this one with dedicated macro lens just cannot capture a macro photo, while this one outperforms it, even though it's older device by several years. So yeah, obviously, like I said, cameras here are fairly bad. And what is happening? Live focus is just weird. It makes like blurry, like, do you see this? It focused, for instance, on this, but everything around it is at the same distance. This shouldn't be blurry. You don't need to create a fake bokeh effect on regions that don't really, that shouldn't have bokeh. The camera here is just disappointing, to be honest. And overall, this phone itself is leaving a lot to be desired. So you paying premium here just for the fact that it's Samsung, and I don't think when you're buying a budget device that is a worth sacrifice trade-off. Either you pay for the brand and you go for a flagship, or you want to have a cheap device and you go for a cheap device that actually performs good, because you're buying stuff based on value, not brand. So again, I would strongly not recommend this device. There are better options. If you really need a Samsung one, then I guess, yeah, sure, probably my opinion here won't change yours, but if it does, then just try to look for something different than this. So yeah, that being said, if you found this helpful, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and thanks for watching.